Hello everyone and welcome to your another session of Civics. We are going to continue with our chapter Introduction to the Constitution of India. Our objective for today is students will be able to analyze the source and collect information. Analyze, what do you mean by analyze? Analyze means to, yes, look. So we are going to look at different sources, material, oral and written, and we are going to collect information from them. The steps that we are going to follow today for analyzing the source is to identify the kind of source, whether it's a written source, oral source or material source, and then we will read the information given on the source. Now, how are we going to collect information? So, we are going to ask ourselves this question: what do I understand from the source? What all things, or what all information am I getting from the source? So, these are our steps to build skill for today's class. So, let's begin. Now, Constitution of India, in our last class I told you that Constitution is a book, right? It is a book that contains ideas, rules, norms which are set by the citizens and are followed by the citizens of the country. In our today's class, we are going to specifically talk about the Constitution of India. We are going to understand about the Constitution and we are going to study in detail. So, the Constitution of India was written in two languages, in Hindi and in English. India has only one constitution, it has only one book, but it was written in two languages, in Hindi and in English. Okay, now class, this constitution was handwritten by Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada in Hindi and English. So, if you can see the picture, this man hand wrote the Constitution of India in both the languages, in Hindi as well as in English. Each page of the Indian Constitution is uniquely decorated by artists from Shanti Niketan. Artist Pyohar Ram Manohar Sinha's, if you can see him, this is the picture of artist Pyohar Ram Manohar Sinha, right? So on the right hand side of the screen there are pictures of the Constitution, right? And if you can see, there are borders of the page and those borders have some design. So Pyohar Ram Manohar Sinha made these designs. Okay, he decorated these designs on the book. These artists were from a group which was known as Shanti Niketan. And this is another contribution from artist Nalanda Bose. If you can see the design which is drawn on the paper, those are the contribution from Nalanda Bose, who was also from the same group, Shanti Niketan. So these are the two artists, and there were many more artists, but these are the two prominent artists who designed, who decorated the book, who designed and decorated the Constitution of India. A committee was formed to prepare the Constitution of Independent India, and it was called the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly insisted that independent India will be governed not by the laws made by the British, but by the laws made by Indians themselves. So, form, in order to make the Constitution of India, a committee was formed, and this committee was called the Constituent Assembly. Okay, there was a group of people who came together to make the book, to create the book, the Constitution of India, and that group of people together form a committee, and they named that committee as Constituent Assembly. If you can see the picture, it covers all the people who were there in that committee, who were there in the Constituent Assembly. Now, can you tell me who were these people? Were they Britishers or were they Indians? Yes, absolutely correct. All of them were Indians. And this Constituent Assembly made sure that the laws which will be written in the Constitution of India will be made only by the Indians and not by the Britishers. Okay, now we will learn a little more about the Constituent Assembly. So there were total 299 members in the Constituent Assembly. They began making the Constitution in 1946. So 1946 was the year when they started writing the Constitution, writing the book. It took 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days to complete the Constitution. So, how many years did it take to complete the book of Constitution? 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days. And how many members were there in the assembly? 299 members. When did they start writing the Constitution? In the year 1946. Now, when you do the calculation from 1946 and include 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days, you will go to the date of 26 November 1949. So, on 26 November 1949, the Constitution got completed. So, after 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days, which mean on which date? On 26 November 1949, they completed writing the Constitution of India, and it was first presented in the Constituent Assembly. Right? The committee which was formed to make the Constitution, so it was presented to all of them. Like, this is the Constitution of India, and people, citizens of India are going to follow all the rules written in it. So, on 26 November 1949, the Constitution got completed. That is the day all the citizens of India observed as Constitution Day. So remember, like every day in our school, we read the preamble, right? We read the preamble as well as we read the constitution. So when we read the constitution, the last sentence is 26th day of November 1949, right? We read this sentence. So what does this sentence actually means? It actually means that this day is celebrated as Constitution Day, or it is observed as Constitution Day. Now these are some of the people who were in the Constituent Assembly and who played a prominent role, a very important role in forming the Constitution of India, in forming that book. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is known as the architect of the Indian Constitution. So he is known as the architect of the Indian Constitution. Why? Because he drafted, presented, and made amendments as per the suggestions by different members. Amendments का मतलब होता है changes. So what he did, he took suggestions from all the members. There were 299 members, right, in the Constituent Assembly. So all of them gave suggestions to him, and he actually drafted. He actually uh, he actually thought about the ideas. He actually thought how to write it down presently, how to write it down in a systematic manner. Okay, he didn't write it, but he gave the suggestion that this is the rule that we are going to follow, and these are the things that every citizen has to obey. So all those things were his ideas, and he also took some suggestions from other members, and he is the one who presented on 26th November 1949. He was the one who presented the constitution in the Constituent Assembly, right? There was Maulana Azad, there was Sarojini Naidu, there was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and there was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. All of these people were also members of the Constituent Assembly, and they also gave their suggestions to B.R. Ambedkar. Alright, class. So, with that, we have completed our today's objective. Now, Bhaiya is not giving you homework in this slide. I will be sharing your homework questions separately on the WhatsApp group. Alright, so you can check your homework questions, or you can check your homework from the WhatsApp group. There will be a separate file where you can see your homework. Now, since we are giving you homework in the afternoon, and as well as our video class will be shared in the afternoon, we will give you time to write down your homework. Okay, you can submit your homework by evening 7 or 8 p.m. Alright, but make sure that you complete your homework. So, with that, we have come to the end of our today's class. I hope that you got enough information about our constitution, about the Constitution of India, when did it started, who all were there in the Constituent Assembly, what is Constituent Assembly, how many members were there in Constituent Assembly, and then who designed, uh, who decorated the design, who decorated the pages of Constitution of India, who handwritten the pages of Constitution of India. So all those things are very important information for every citizen of India, right? If you don't know about the constitution, you will not follow the rules, right? So it's very important for you to know what was our constitution and how did all started. Okay, so I hope that you liked our today's session. With that, we are ending our today's session. Thank you so much, class.